school.
Waiting for the host to log in.
I looked into Zoom. Looks and sounds good.
2 people. Okay, I'll make you host. If you join the school, just let me know when you join, Tim. I'll make you.
No?
Okay, welcome everyone. Great to see so many here. Good evening.
Nice.
Let's see.
Sweet.
Simply make Tim host here. Then we'll get started. Okay, perfect. Hi, great to see so many here this evening, or maybe it's early on in the day where you're coming from. We will have a chat today. We have Andre here. He will ask me some questions.
Yes.
We also have Gerald, an Amazon Ads expert, on the call. He will take some questions as well. And yeah, it'll be a good one. So enjoy.
Great. The main topic of this whole interview style thing we now want to do a little bit in the beginning is why are most people in publishing hitting a ceiling, can scale, and what are the reasons for that? We have written down 4 main topics we will talk about. We will share lots of, or at least a few of even, yeah, how should I call it, secret strategies. Of course, in the event we have planned in April, we will then talk about the real great secret stuff. But also in this event, you can look forward to get things you can implement right now, strategies you can really use, not only what you always say, fluff. I think fluff's the word. So you will really get great input. And the first question I have to you, Peter, is why do you think that most publishers today are hitting a ceiling and are stuck?
That's a good question. And every answer now that I will give, it will not be pre-planned. I don't even know the question. So it will be exactly my thought process. And why are publishers hitting a ceiling? I believe that they haven't identified what's keeping them stuck. So in the beginning, the thing that is keeping a publisher stuck might be creating profitable books. So that's the first problem to solve. So if your books are not making over $100 per month, I would say that there's something that is not being done correctly, whether that is the niche that's being selected, whether it's the book cover, whether it's the title, whether it's the description, etc., etc. So when I see works from publishers, I can see, okay, you've got a great cover, for example, but it's missing this thing and this thing. And that's the reason it doesn't work. So usually there is a reason a book doesn't take off. And in many cases, it's the niches, the niche selection. And you might say, well, the numbers are showing perfectly, but it's not just about the numbers. We also have to take in, okay, is there a gap for the market? Is your positioning strong enough? And there are many different factors. So that's one thing, not solving the puzzle of creating profitable books. Then if you're doing that consistently and you're not growing, then the problem is something else. And that is that might be reviews, it might be hiring process, that you're not finding a great way to produce the books. Maybe you're overwhelmed, you have too much to do, too much on your plate, and you need to maybe outsource or prioritize or delegate or eliminate some tasks or automate or simply improve your own productivity, time management. So it's individually what is stopping people from growing. But I would start there, okay? Am I making profitable books consistently? If not, okay, then it's something in the way I'm approaching publishing that is not working as it should.
So to put it together in a easy way, it's one, if I understand it correctly, it's one part is the quality part. So the earnings per book, of course, is one lever you can pull to scale. And the next thing is speed or quantity. Let's call it speed. So if you, for example, earn less than $100 per book, then you would need to produce 1,000 books to really see great results. But on the other hand, if you are able to create books that make $1,000 a month, but you're only able to create one book a year, that's another problem.
Yes.
So that you're talking about, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we take you as an example. You don't have the problem of creating profitable books. You're creating books that average at least $500 a month. So your problem is more cash flow. Your problem was hiring. Now it's not.
Yeah.
So I think it will be very interesting to see your results in 6 months, 1 year from now.
Yes. My biggest ceiling I hit was the speed part, was the hiring part, and that's what you taught to me. I think in September last year we started, that you began to teach me, and then I understand these important things about speed, because quality, as you said, it wasn't my problem. I can create great books, but I was working on some books for 2 months, and then I would publish 6 books a year, and that's not that great compared to Ayan. Ayan has in less than 2 years, I think, over 200 books published.
Yeah.
So with 6 books a year, it's hard to hit these numbers.
But that's an interesting thing, because you mentioned speed, and some publishers, they sacrifice quality for speed, and that's not what we're talking about. We're still keeping the outcome that you're producing is still the same quality, if not better, but you're able to produce more. So if you can produce 100 books that make $1,000 per month, yes, that's better than just one book. But the base is still the same. The quality is still there.
Yeah. And in the end, what both things, the problem behind both things, so the pacing, the speed, and the quality of the book, is always a lack of information, a lack of strategy. And the main problem is, I think, that people are doing, everybody does the same things, they have the same sources of information, and that's the main reason we want to do the event in Barcelona. Yes. Maybe you can talk a little bit about the Barcelona event we have soon.
Yes, absolutely. So in April 5 and 6, we will have an event in Barcelona. Tim is now sharing a little bit on the screen. So it will be a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. We will have, I believe, 5 or 6 speakers, so talking about different topics. A lot of them are inside Driven Publishers Elite, so there will come members from there as well. But there will also come members from other communities and just from Driven Publisher School as well. So it will be a great opportunity to connect with other publishers, other people who are doing what you're doing. Because if we're honest with ourselves, we're quite alone with doing Amazon KDP. There's not a lot of people, at least where I live, they've never heard about what I'm doing. And I have to spend maybe 10-15 minutes explaining what I'm doing. So getting connected with other people who are on the same path, who know exactly what you're going through, and some people will be further ahead and they can help you with your challenges, but there might be people that are behind you as well that you can help and you can lift up, and then 2-3 years from now you see them succeed and they thank you, hey, that tip you gave me really helped me. So I think it's a great opportunity to meet like-minded people.
Yeah, and I think that's a great bridge into the first point. I said in the beginning I have 4 points we can talk about. All all points are about these things we mentioned before, so the main struggles that people have, and it's all about this quality and this basic part. It wasn't planned like this, but now as you talked about it, it's literally only about these two blocks in the end. And the first thing is this. The first thing we want to talk about is that many publishers who are a little bit advanced or are even very advanced, they have now a structure, maybe after years of publishing, to produce books, to publish their books, and they're doing more and more books, and they don't see the growth they are want to see. So they're publishing more books, they're publishing consistent books, they are experienced, they know what they do, at least they think of this. Maybe they publish since 5 years or so, but they are at a point where the growth isn't happening.
Yes. So I'll use an analogy for this. I think I was 2 years into Muay Thai, or 1.5. I thought I was, I thought I was doing good. But I notice when I'm backstepping, when I'm backing up and I'm punching, it's lacking the speed, it's lacking the power. So I had one he was probably 3-4 years ahead of me. He said, Peter, just tweak your foot a little bit. Just tweak it a little bit. And I felt immediately, 1 second, I felt the difference. And that's how it is with publishing. Even if you're an advanced publisher, you might be doing just a little bit something that can be improved. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, but if you just take this small little tweak and over the long run apply this, then the difference can be huge in where you end up. So when you're advanced, it's not about overcoming basic mistakes such as keeping your guard up or something like that. It's more so, okay, you got to make this small adjustment, and that small adjustment you might not get unless you have someone, you speak with someone who sees things from a different perspective or who has solved that specific problem. Because most likely, whatever problem you have, there is someone who has solved that problem. And it might not be me, it might be Andre, it might be Gerald, it might be another publisher, but most likely your problem is not that unique. So there is a solution, and there is someone who most likely have already found the solution. And if they haven't found a solution, then what I've noticed in DP is we sit around, I can't answer a question, I give the ball to Andre, I give the ball to Gerald, I give the ball to whoever. And eventually we come up with an idea, and then maybe we can't even solve it. And then someone comes up after 1-2 weeks, and they write in the community, or they write to me personally, hey Peter, check this out. And then, okay. And it might just be one simple idea, but that one simple idea wouldn't have been generated unless I gave the ball to different people and we mastermind like this.
Yeah. Let's go over some of these points. So one point I can share that you helped me with. I remember it was, I think, half an hour of a chat. We had just a phone call, and this half an hour was, I think, the most valuable of continuing my publishing journey. It was about how to use Upwork right, how to find the right influencers, and the tip you gave me is just, and if you don't do this and you work with freelancers, implement this today and it will change your whole your whole freelancer game. It's crazy. Just give them test projects. And you said if you're searching for a freelancer, then just give them, instead of hire one, look if he does the task right, and then if he doesn't do the task right, search another one. You said just give 4 people a test task.
Yes.
And then see who does the task fastest and the best. And the combination of these two is the right people to go for.
Yes.
And this is crazy, because then maybe you spend 2 weeks, if it's really long, maybe normally it's shorter, but you can spend 2 weeks to find the right freelancer. And then I found the freelancer, I think a few weeks after we talked, and he's working with me till today. He works, I think, 40-50 hours a week only for me now. And he's creating all my books, all my new books, and he's extremely cheap. He's really good, doing the work really, really good. And this small tip of yours it changed my whole approach on publishing, because before that I did all by my own. I thought freelancers were expensive, but I don't pay him that much.
Yes.
Of course, he's from Zimbabwe, so his income is maybe 2 or 3 times the normal income there, so he lives like a king. But still, for me, it's not much money. It's the perfect win-win condition for everybody. And this was a small detail you told me.
Yes, and before that, before we solve a problem, it seems like this insurmountable object. It's too complex, but once we have solved it, I am fairly certain that you think the solution was quite easy. But still, even if it's easy, you don't see it because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. And another point about the topic, many people publish more books but don't see the growth. I think that the whole concept of the getting reviews on Amazon KDP is just teached very one-dimensional. If you search now on YouTube how to get reviews for your books on Amazon KDP, every video will talk about these sites like I only know the site Puppy, so I always use Puppy as an example, but I mean all of these sites. They're all the same in essence, and they only teach you how to get reviews with these sites. And that's not a productive way to scale. If you want to publish 1 book per week, you can't get enough reviews from these sites to really scale. If you say you would need for Puppy reviews to scale, you always said, or you said a few months ago, if you need around 100 reviews to really get the book kicking off. Of course, you can start at 30 and make great results with that, but at 100 it really will take off. And you can't get 100 reviews via Puppy only. You need other strategies.
Yeah, to clarify that was also from Gerald. He said to me that because he's working with Amazon ads, he's able to see, okay, if they have 100 reviews compared to 40 reviews, he sees a big difference.
Yeah.
So that's where that information comes from. Now, of course, you can get a great book with 30 reviews, but the problem Andre is mentioning here, that you can't really scale Puppy and these review sites, and that is a bottleneck. It is something that's stopping growth. So obviously, if we can solve that by not being reliant on these platforms, then that's something very good.
Yeah.
And that maybe I should ask you, what will happen in the event?
In the event, I have a strategy where I'm independent of these review gathering sites, let's call them like that, and I get all my reviews via test readers. So I gave people free copies of my book, or I don't give it to them. They order it by themselves with their own Amazon account, and I then reimburse them. So they don't pay anything. They pay beforehand, but they get their money back, yes. And then they just give me in private a feedback about the book. So it's really simple. It's not about reviews, not about, hey, I give you money and you review my book. No, that's not allowed. But they give me a private feedback. That's the deal. That's why I reimburse them. And then if they give me a great feedback, I then ask if I can get a review, if they are so nice and leave a review for the book. And 90% of them will give a review. And that's how I get most of my reviews. And I do this personally with Facebook ads. So I get the test readers with Facebook ads, then we write in the messenger, and then the whole process, I explain the whole process to them, and that's it. But you can also do it with Facebook groups and many other ways you can find test readers. And that you can do for 1 book, but you can do that with 4 books at the same time. Currently I'm doing it for 3 books at the same time, all the books I launched this month. So it's scalable. If I would rely on sites like Puppy, I could have only do it for 1 book. But now I can just scale it because I can do it for so many books as I want. And if it's too much work for me to write with the people, I now have a freelancer doing all my chatting in the Facebook Messenger. So it's completely scalable to the moon.
And if nothing else, imagine all the KDP businesses who are dependent on getting reviews from these sites. Then what happens if these sites, all of a sudden Amazon says these sites are no longer allowed, or Amazon goes after them, or whatever it is? Then what are you going to do? It's always good to have a backup plan, or another way that you're getting reviews on the side. So I am a fan of building an ARC list, building an email list, but this is probably something that's going to give you immediate, or it is something that's going to give you immediate results, because like he says, once you send out the copy, then you will immediately have contact with the person.
Yeah, and what people don't understand, maybe it's also nice to know for everybody who's watching. You never hear in YouTube videos the difference between review quality and review quantity. You only hear that you need 100 reviews, but that's not how Amazon works. The number of reviews is mainly for converting the click from the search to your product page, to your book. And the conversion, the click on the buy button and buy the book, is mainly dependent of the quality of the reviews. So if you have 100 reviews, but all of them are short and obviously puppy reviews, then it's not converting compared to, example, a book with only 30 reviews, but all are this long, real people have bought it, some pictures, some video reviews, so really high quality reviews. And if you compare these two books directly, if the people are on the listing, then they will buy the book with fewer reviews because the quality is just higher. Not everybody, of course, but many people will do that. Many people will buy the book with real great reviews compared to not fake reviews, but these generated reviews from these review gathering sites. So it's also about quality, not only quantity. Of course, the number is important, because if people don't click on your book, you aren't getting sales. But if you master both at the same time, or at least focus a little bit more in combination with these review sites on quality, that's also could be a great benefit. So get the numbers and the quality of the reviews. And I've never heard that in a YouTube video, but it's logical if you think about it and think like Amazon customer.
Of course, if you think like any customer,
Yeah.
you because as a customer, you probably click on the book, and then I think even before the description, I'm sure there are some data on this, but you scroll down, you read what other people have said, and if there are people who are just like you, who've read the book and they've reviewed the book, that will make it much more likely that you will buy the book, because they have the exact same problems you had.
Good, let's go to the next point of my list. Maybe also Gerald, that could your opinion could be helpful here. It's about why most people are burning money with Amazon ads or struggling with it, and why Amazon ads, or how to manage the problem that Amazon ads just getting crazy expensive nowadays.
Gerald, you can take that question right away.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Andre. And hello, everyone. Very excited to be here. So, in response to that question, I was just looking at several dashboards today. They sent me a few dashboards with 100% ACOS, right? And like, Gerald, fix this. Like, what can we do about this? So, I see basically a lot of things, but if I had to give you like a tip, like, which could make you make more money really fast, is simply go into Publisher Champ, go into, if not, your Amazon KDP reports dashboard, and I want you to check your best books, and I want you to check for them how much money they're making in other marketplaces outside of the US. You can just simply go check how much money they're making. If they're selling, even though you don't have ads running for them in other marketplaces, or if simply you're just running very low ads, but they're making good money in other marketplaces, I would suggest you actually double down on those marketplaces. Let me tell you a story. So I have we're running ads to their book in the US market. It's very competitive. We are suffering because the competition is very strong in this niche. There's also tons of potential to make money, but we're like, every day looking at those ads, making sure to improve them. And I decided to, based on the data from the Amazon reports and also from Publisher Chat, I decided to activate a few ads in Canada, because Canada was taking off. And I saw that. I started a few ads in Canada, and now we're making $20 a day net profit in Canada. It's been just a few days. It's been consistent, and we're like the number one book in Canada, and our BSR is like 1,000 BSR in Canada, right? Just small tweaks like that to make sure that you're maximizing your return on investment. And that's a very simple one. I think everyone can apply in this world. Doesn't matter what level of Amazon ads you're in. Just simply search your own reports, check where where your books are making money outside of the US, and you will find a lot of opportunities you're probably not tapping into. Like another one, for instance, is the Netherlands. It has just opened up as an Amazon Ads marketplace. You can start a very simple automatic ad, put all your books in there with 10 cents bid, and trust me, that will most likely make you money. In most of the cases that I've done this, very little changes, you can start making money from. There's a lot of other tips and tricks you can start to do with Amazon ads to improve it. And I think that if we are trying to be profitable today in 2025, it's not so complicated. It's just having an understanding of the more opportunities that we have in front of us than before they didn't exist. Before running ads in Canada was not possible. When I started, it wasn't possible. Or before running ads in Netherlands, it wasn't possible. Now it's possible. Understanding what's happening today in the marketplace with a few changes can make you have a substantially higher income. And if you want to get into specifics, if you want to like nail a really good Amazon ad strategy, then there's also things I can teach you there, right? But I think that will be a little bit more demonstrational. Perhaps you can also download an Amazon Ads report, check the best keywords, activate exact keyword campaigns, do video ads for your exact for your exact keywords that are performing well. There's a little bit more technical stuff, but it's a combination of both that will put you ahead. So if I had to summarize this, um, there's so many tools now that we didn't have before. Not many people are using them because they're stuck in a 2024, 2023, 2022 publishing mindset. And you need to know what's happening now, right? And I think we will also be covering a lot of that inside of the event that's coming up. So very excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Have you another point about Amazon ads, or should we?
No, I think you can move on. One common beginner issue I see is, for example, that people are over obsessing about the ads when the book is actually the thing that's holding you back. So that's one tip I can give is, if you've tried a lot of things with ads, then maybe consider focusing on the book, seeing, okay, is there something there you can analyze? Okay, is the click-through rate, is it below 0.3? Maybe it's the cover, maybe it's the niche you selected. If the conversion rate is below 10%, okay, perhaps it's something with the presentation, the A+ content, the reviews, the quality of reviews like we just discussed, the description, etc.
Yeah. Another point for the ads topic, people sometimes, I have the feeling, don't understand what the Amazon ads are for, because the main goal of Amazon ads is to get the organic ranking higher. So if people buy your Amazon ads from a keyword that also is an organic keyword for you, then of course you will be ranked higher in organic keywords. And then it could make sense to even spend more money than you directly make back from the Amazon ads if you then rank high organically and sell more organically. But what I want to talk about is that most people underestimate the potential of external traffic. So if you can, for example, with an email list, of course not everybody has an email list, but with an email list, sales will boost your organic ranking more than normal Amazon ad sales, because Amazon loves it if you bring people that aren't on Amazon to their platform, because then they not only maybe buy your book, but buy other stuff. So Amazon likes it if you bring people that aren't on Amazon to Amazon. And you can do this with an email list, but you can also do this with, some people do TikTok content in Germany. What's my main market, many people are seeing great success with doing organic TikTok videos. I don't know what's the state of art in the US market, but it can be relative for external traffic. Another point about ads are Facebook ads, for example. I run Facebook ads directly to my products to sell them, and I pay around $5 for a sale, which sounds expensive, but it isn't, because the organic ranking gets so an incredible boost from this external traffic that you just rank way higher and make way more sales. So maybe look outside of Amazon. Of course, Amazon ads are the most important thing, but in some niches where you have to pay $2 or $3 per click for Amazon ads, maybe look outside the box and try to find new streams of traffic. I think that's...
Yeah, that's also an argument for building a brand, because when you create an author page, people can follow that author page on Amazon. And there are author pages with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. So of course, if you have that following on Amazon, then Amazon, when you release a new book, they might email those followers and say, hey, this author just released a new book, go check it out. And then you're getting traffic from that as well.
Yes. Great. Then let's go to the next thing. The next topic is that KDP, people feel it, and we talked about it in a video series we just filmed a few days ago for YouTube. KDP gets harder, the quality of the competition improves, AI is rushing, it's every month AI gets a new crazy update and everything changes again, and even experienced publishers, even publishers who have been publishing for years are falling behind slowly but surely. And what's your talking point about that?
I can almost 90% sure that if I didn't have the community or access to people that I have now, I would not be where I am. I would not have the knowledge. That I can say 100%, because there are these small little tweaks. Okay, you can use this software to create book covers, or you can use this tool. This is the best tool right now to use. Or have you thought about using this process of creating a book, or whatever small tweak there is in the change, whether that is increased quality. Okay, that book cover is no longer enough. That's a 2022 book cover. Or that description, yeah, sure, it might have sold in 2020, but right now it's you really need to showcase the value of your book. So it's also about raising the standard. And when you get around other people, especially who are getting results right now, they will be able to point it out and say, okay, objectively, if we compare your book with this book, I'm going to choose this book. So why? Why is that? The next follow-up question is, why would you choose that book over mine? Well, it has a better cover. It has a better value proposition. I get more from this book. I pay the same price, but I get more from this book. Of course, I'm going to choose. But when we're publishing our own books, we're not able to see that because we have invested so much time, so much energy, so much money that of course it's the best thing in the world. And we might say to our family and they might confirm it, yeah, this is a great book. But the truth is, the market doesn't care. The market doesn't care. The only thing the market cares about is themselves. They want the solution and they want the best solution. And they want something that will give them something that is not already out there.
We just talked a few hours ago before this meeting in private about the topic of great looking book covers that don't sell, because it's not about the look of a book cover. It's worth nothing if your book cover looks amazing if it doesn't sell, because it's the difference of a converting book cover and a good looking book cover. Of course, often it's the same, but many times the book cover can look really great, but it just doesn't hit the spot. I was in many niches where objectively ugly, yeah, let's call it ugly book cover has outperformed most competitors because it just hits the right spot. Not because it was pretty, but because it had the right tweaks on it. So it's you need to let the mark decide what sells and not the opinion of people around you. And that you can do with testing. You can test before you publish a book on via forums what your target audience would pick. So you can test your main 3 competitors, for example, against your cover concept. And then look, if all people, no, not all, but the bigger part of people click on your book cover, you know that your book has a high probability to outcompete them if you launch it. And if it's objectively for you or for all people around you the most beautiful cover, but loses against the competition, then it means nothing that it's beautiful. It's just not converting. And that's an important thing to know. So look on the data and not just feeling and opinions from people around you.
Yes, and it's great to ask family and friends, but you need to ask family and friends and say, don't disclose which book is yours. But ideally, you want to ask the target audience if that's possible. And once again, that's the power of building a brand. If you got a brand, you got an audience, you maybe have an Instagram following, you can do a poll, which cover do you like the best? Or you can do a questionnaire. It's very easy.
Yeah, without a brand, you can just do services and pay $50 and get great results from a survey, and then you know, okay, my book isn't perfect, I need to change that, or my book is the best, and I can launch the book. So you can. It's of course with an ad it's easier, it's cheaper, but an ad is with a brand, sorry. But the brand is a long-term thing, and if you are starting right now with a new brand, or you haven't the email list yet, then you can just use different platforms, different services for service. Okay, the last point, I think we talked about this point, the whole this whole session here, but maybe shortly about it in detail, is the problem of too much information out there and too much wrong information, and people are just confused. They hear too much strategies. Some strategies are completely new and revolutionary maybe, and other strategies are 5 years old and still promoted heavily, and people can choose which is the right one.
Yes.
What would you say to the people is a way to find this out and manage this overload of information?
I think that the first thing we want to do is simply think, what is it that we're solving for? The thing we're solving for is we're creating books that people want to buy. That's all we're doing. So people talk about the Amazon algorithm. You need to get this many reviews to rank this high. You need to add keywords in this space and this space. And that's good. Don't get me wrong. We want to add keywords where we can naturally. But the core is creating a book that people want to buy. So that is what we're solving for. We're adding value to the marketplace. That's why we're being paid.
Yeah.
So that's what we're solving for. And any strategy that does not align with that, meaning that any strategy that, for example, detracts more from the marketplace than it adds, that's a no-no. We don't do that strategy. But if it's a strategy that makes the experience of the reader better, it makes our product better, it makes our marketing better, it makes the presentation better, and it's all truthful, it's in alignment with the truth, then yes, we do that. We do that strategy. Because we have, on this side, we have risks, and on this side, we have rewards. And we don't necessarily need to get rewards by taking risks. So if we see, okay, great keyword, but it's trademarked. No, we don't follow that keyword. So always think about the long term. And this book publishing, it is long term, because we're just the fact that we're being paid 60 days after. And that should make you feel good about the business model, because that means that people who are not willing to wait 60 days, they're gone. They're no longer competing. So if you can simply control that urge to want to make money quick, then you will win, because you will always optimize for the long term. One of my favorite quotes was from Brian Tracy. He said, 5 years is going to pass anyways. The only question is, where will you end up? Will you be stuck trying a new business model or new strategies here and there? Or will you actually build something that has real value in the marketplace? Something that has a compounding effect, where at first it might start off small, but then it goes up and up and up. And then all of a sudden, your problem of publishing a profitable book, it's no longer there, because you just send out one email and your book is profitable.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts.
Yes. I think it's incredibly important what you said, that it's just about selling a great product to customers. When I teach about niche research, for example, I always explain at the beginning that the niche is a problem we want to solve. It's not that technical or magic thing we can't explain and look at it through helium-10 and all these tools, and it's just data. No, it's way more strategic. It's more nuanced, and it's in the end a problem people are searching because they want a solution for their problem. It's that, and if you understand that, you can optimize exactly for that. And most people are overcomplicating it and only looking at it from a data perspective, which in the end is overcomplicating it, instead of just looking at it as a real customer. And it's the same as you described. And in the end, if you are focused on the customer journey, what the customer wants, create a great product, then, like I said in the beginning, a small information, not loads of information, nuanced, detailed information, little strategies can change your complete publishing approach and can skyrocket your business.
And one thing I would encourage you to do is also to think that oftentimes the simplest solution can be the best one. So instead of overcomplicating it, let's say you have a journey here and you want to get to here, instead of going like this and this and this and then going around, why not just, okay, the simplest path is just to go straight. And then, sure, I might miss out. I might leave a little bit money on the table. I might have made some more if I did this round over around here. But at the end of the day, you're going to save so much time just walking the straight path. And then you can walk on the next one. So even that little bit of money that you would have saved doing this complicated thing, it's not in the long term, you haven't saved anything from that. So keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yes. Great. That was all I've written down. So maybe if you want to, you can explain a little bit more about the event, what's planned, or we'll talk about what are the reasons for the people to get there and why it will be great.
Yes, absolutely. So the event will start with me, one speech. I will speak about some history. So for those of you who have been doing publishing for a long time, you will appreciate this one for sure. And of course, it's not pure history only. You're also getting valuable insights, and I'm dropping strategies and mindsets and ways of approaching that has really helped me, because I don't believe I got the results I got because I applied some secret strategy. Sure, I have always paid attention, but it's really about how I think. So that's the main thing that I want to transfer in this first one. Then we have Gerald. He's going to talk about high and medium content. So Gerald is primarily, he's been teaching in the Spanish market, but his own KDP account is well over $500,000. So he's made a lot of money from KDP. I know he's been around other publishers as well. He has his finger on the pulse. So if you're doing medium content, if you're doing low content or anything, I think this will be very valuable. And we have a short break, of course. We have coffee for those who drink coffee, otherwise just regular water. And secret guest speaker. So we can't disclose that, otherwise it wouldn't be a secret.
But most of you will know him.
Yeah,
some of you will definitely know him.
Yes, I think maybe 95%. Okay, Andre will talk about how to attack every niche. Again, what I mentioned in the beginning, he made $19,000 in December, and he made it from only 12 books. So he had published more books, but those were in the beginning books. But of those 19K that he made in December, it was 12 books. So he made over $1,500 in average per book. And now he's aiming for $30,000 in June. So I think
maybe what's also special about my books, this December sounds always so pretty because it's a high spike. But I earned in December only $3,000 more than January. So my fall wasn't a big fall. I know publishers who earn normally 10,000 and then have a spike 20 or 30,000 in December and then goes back to 10K. And my books aren't seasonal at all. Some of them are even selling worse in December. Of course, not the top sellers. That's why I had a little spike, but they are very consistent.
Yes, yes. Okay, then we will do niche research in groups. Any feedback we can give, we will of course give you. Tim will then cover AI cover creation. So I usually don't advise people to do their own covers, but I'm starting to go back on that advice because I've seen some amazing covers by Tim, and he's not even published his first book, but just from going through I think all my material, he's editing my material, etc. He's learned exactly how to do it. So then we will wrap it up, and we will meet for dinner for anyone who wants to eat dinner. It's optional, as you can see. And then the day we can see that Andre has been planning. He's a morning person, so he says at 8 a.m. we're gonna be up again.
And that's late for me.
Yeah, that's late. And then we're gonna be looking forward to a speech by Danny on Demand. Danny on Demand will speak at 9. And then we have Gerald, the top 500 BSR Amazon ad secrets. Very much looking forward to this myself. Then we'll have breakout groups where we will put different elite members. I believe we will do it like this, and then we will speak in groups. So we will aim to mix the groups, so there's always an advanced person, at least one, maybe several in each group, and we will talk what are the current challenges, and how can we overcome them, and what are the goals, and everything like that. Then we will have lunch. Ian will then do a speech, so we can look forward to that. It's to be announced. Then at 2:30, Andre will talk about his review generation method that he briefly discussed here. So we don't have to be reliant on Puppy. Short break, then I will do my second speech on scaling. And then we'll have a Q&A with all the speakers, so you can ask any questions. And then again at 7, we'll meet for dinners for those who wants to do that. So that's the plan for the event. And again, besides listen to the speeches, the benefit is also networking with other publishers. Because one thing I've noticed is that in person, publishers tend to share more. I was in Peru a couple of weeks ago, and I learned a lot just from that trip. And I'm 9 years into publishing, so think about that. Think about one small tweak. I was also in a publishing event in 2019, and I believe the person who hosted that event, he will also be at the event. So, but anyways, I learned from that. I learned 2 things that over the long run made a huge difference, and it is why my business have such a strong foundation today. So I highly encourage going to events. And I don't know about any events right now in publishing. Who knows? Will we do another one? One thing we just joked around personally before we got on the call is, since we've done DP, we've learned so much that we're almost thinking about going back into the dark and just shutting this all down and just focusing on publishing, because we get that question as well. Why are you doing this? And
we don't have an answer.
We don't have an answer. So yes, we are very much actively publishing, and we want to publish as like that's what we do. So I think getting around people who have their finger on the pulse, I think that's a great thing. Gerald, you want to add something to the event here?
Just the fact that that's also my number one intrusive thought. Every time I talk to you, I'm thinking, why? I just want to just cut away from everything and just 1 year, just put all of it to practice, and then come out of my cave and talk to people again, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 100% agree. We've been sharing a lot of good information, and you can be part of that information as well, so you can apply.
Yeah. Hope to see you there. And we don't have any planned event after this one, so we'll see. Maybe this will be the only one we'll ever do, or maybe we'll do another one. But I would take advantage of this while you have the chance to meet Andre, Gerald, a lot of other publishers. Like I said, Ian, my mentee, will be there as well. So Danny on Demand, and then the guest speakers. So be a lot of good people there.
Yes.
Yep. Maybe we will. Who knows?
That was the question.
Maybe after all of this, we'll just disappear.
Would be a cool move, to be honest.
Okay. Any final thoughts from you, Andre, before we wrap up, or do we have any questions or anything we should do?
Tim, do we have any questions maybe?
How do you hire other people when you write about a specialized subject? That's my challenge.
When you write about a specialized subject, you want to find someone who is an expert in that subject. And Upwork is a good place to start.
How to compete when your nearest competitor has 14,000 reviews and you just published?
Why do you want to go into a niche or compete with someone who has 14,000 reviews? That's my first question, but I wouldn't focus so much on the competition. I would more so focus on what is the value I can provide to the marketplace. And even if that book has 14,000 reviews, if you can place an ad, a product ad underneath that book, and you have a better solution, then people can buy both of your books. So it's not necessarily competition. We're not thinking red ocean. We're thinking blue ocean. We're adding a new category. We're adding new value to the marketplace. That's what we're doing. So shift your focus from the competition and focus on finding gaps and adding value.
What would you say to someone who is almost broke, has one book out and hasn't been able to make a profit yet and are losing hope and faith in the business?
Has one book out?
Yeah. What would you say to someone who is almost broke, has one book out and hasn't been able to make a profit yet?
I would say one book out is way too little to make a judgment whether this works. I think, Andre, your book failed, your first book, right?
Yeah, my first 3 were completely failures, so they don't sell anything until today. I think my 4th was a success, but then the beginning, my 4th was also a failure at first, but then I started my 7th or 8th book, then was in the same niche, and I then built a brand, and that pushed my 4th book to then become a success later on. It's a very special case, but the first 2 books, I think every publisher are failures. And I would aim to make as much, to publish as much failures as you can as fast as possible. So you get to the 5th, 6th and 7th book you're publishing, and then it has a very higher quality. You understand the market more, the niches more, you understand the copywriting on the product page more. So just getting out books in the beginning is perfect, and then focus more on the quality and improve step by step.
Yes, and I don't want you to focus on, when I'm mentioning Andre, for example, he's making $1,500 per book in December with those 12 books. Don't focus on that. See what he had to do to get there. What was his journey in the beginning? He just said there was a lot of failed books. So we all fail. I failed with a lot of books. I've done a lot of things that I could have done better. So it's not about being perfect. It's not about even seeing results on the dashboard that will be life-changing. In the beginning, it's simply about learning and, okay, getting better. Oh, the next book I published, it made $10 instead of $0. Oh, and the next one after that, it made $20. And then from there, you start to see, oh, I'm doing this, I can do this better, and I can do this better. And if you have no money down, then, or no money to invest, then there are ways to create books without any money. So I would focus on that. And if you believe in KDP, which I would, because you can see the results, I always believed that KDP was possible even before I even started KDP. And that was because I saw other people who in my mind weren't any more special than me, who were making it work. So that proves that it is possible. So all we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, what are these people doing? And what am I doing that can be better? And then from there, we simply keep going and we commit for 1 year. And then for 1 year, if we still have, let's say we published 10 books and they're still not making money, yeah, okay. But we have at least committed to something and we stuck with it all throughout that 1 year. So that is what I would do.
Do you believe it can work for fiction?
Yes, I believe absolutely. Publishing works for fiction, but I'm not doing fiction publishing, so I can't teach it.
That's it for the question. There's one more question. Can I post the link for my books in the community in school to get reviews? Free promotion tomorrow. I think that's not allowed from the school rules, and I think Amazon also doesn't like this, so you shouldn't do it.
Okay. Those were all the questions. Thank you everyone for being here live on the call. We have a lot of people live. I very much appreciate you being here and tuning in.
Maybe the fast action.
Yeah, the fast action bonuses for the people who get the ticket to the event. The first 10 people will get a call with I believe either Andre or Gerald. Tell me if I'm wrong there. Yeah. So how long is the call?
An hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
So 1 hour call with Andre or Gerald. So
Yes.
that is for the first 10 people.
We already have 2 signups, by the way.
Okay.
Nice. Then for the next 8 people, they get the call.
Okay, perfect.
We're also maybe, I don't know if you can buy that. Should we talk about the thing that's more expensive? The little joke we
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, now if you mention it. Yeah. No, but yeah.
We in the end we planned to make the event ticket higher, but we decided to make it a fewer price to just barely cover the cost. I think we won't even cover the cost of the whole event. But we lowered the price what we think what we wanted it to be, because we calculated in of course the people need to travel, they need to get there, they need to have the hotel, and that was a decision we had in the beginning about planning the event. And yeah, so now it's just maybe break even, but
I don't. We'll see.
Well, we do the event for ourselves, so there aren't any this much publishing events, and we want an event like this in Germany. Last year was an event with 100 people. It was completely amazing for me. It was only 1 day, but it was an amazing day. I have found 4 new really good friends on this event in Germany, and because there isn't an international event, we decided to create our own and invite all of you to it, and that's the main reason we planned this event in the first hand.
Yeah. Would you recommend somewhere close to stay? The event, can you hear me? I think you can hear me. The event is in a hotel event room, so you can stay at the hotel. See it here on screen.
Yes, I think that will be the simplest solution, Jane, is to simply stay at the hotel.
Yeah. Or around that, I would guess so many Airbnbs.
Yes,
so.
that's true too.
Do you guys have any more questions?
Ryanair tickets to Barcelona are quite cheap from here. Netherlands, we'll check the hotel. Yeah, sounds amazing. Hope to see
we
you
look
there.
from Germany. I think we need to pay $40 or $50 from Germany to Barcelona. It's crazy. So if you are in Europe, then it's not that expensive to fly there.
And there's people coming from India.
Yeah.
But I think that guy is making like 20,000, 30,000 a month, right, Gerald? So he's making good money, yeah. Yeah, so we have some international advanced publishers coming, not just from DP and from Peru. We have at least 4 or 5 people from Peru, so it's gonna be great. Okay, I think that's it. And marketing presence from India, yeah, great. All right, that will do it for this call. Thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you at the event. Take care, everyone.
If you decide to join later, by the way, you can also find the link to the event in the school community here. So you can revisit the page later on. There.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bye, everyone.